All right. Good Saturday morning, afternoon to whoever tunes into this, where my guest is based or in the same time zone. This one had to get rescheduled due to me being sick and my family being sick, as some know. And I hated to do that. I hate canceling, but I didn't really have a voice. It led into an ear infection, which I'm still sorting out, which is a lot better now. I could barely hear out of this right ear, and but things are good now. I'm glad it panned out for this weekend because I didn't want to have to reschedule again. But you guys deserve my all, and I want to give your fans and my viewers everything I have, and being super engaged. So, without further ado, from Atlanta, Georgia, I'm joined by HellHounds, and we have Jackson, vocalist, and Mason, their guitarist. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Finally on the mend. I can't complain. Yeah, it sucks being sick. I know you guys know that.
You
but
just got over all that congestion that we were talking about.
I barely get sick, so I was like, damn.
Like, now that you said that, Mason, you're going to get sick.
Probably, yeah.
It wasn't a good
it wasn't a Jackson.
You always get sick. I hate it.
Yeah, upper respiratory stuff.
That's what I had. Yeah, they suck. But hey, let's go into the backstory for HellHounds. I want to hear about kind of like the origins behind the band. You know, how the band name was decided, whether or not there were lineup shifts or. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll let you take the reins on the how the name became.
It was a tiny little project started in like 2018, 2019 that I just started myself after another music project in high school. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do my own thing, make my own little riffs, and we'll turn this into a future thing. So we did that. Honestly forgot how the name came about, but I was like, all right, this seems cool. And obviously I'm going to get the people going like, well, it's a Greek mythical creature. You need to talk about Greek mythical shit. And I'm like, no, it's a cool name. I'm going to do it. So yeah. And then, got with our old drummer, Brian, and made up some demos, went through a producer, and then got to our other new producer, Current.
Shout out Michael Guevara's of Enox.
Mm-hmm. Talented singer and producer. So our drummer and I, through demos, started writing out some newer stuff. And about early 2021, and then later on in that year, went to a Lorna Shore show, met him.
Oh, dude, Lorna Shore is awesome.
We just hit it off, and then I asked him, I was like, yo, I heard you screaming, even though it was like kind of like mock screaming.
But yeah, it was more like mock screaming. This kid walks up to me wearing a rat tail hat. And I was like, hey, man, I'm starting a band. Do you want to be the vocalist? I was like,
this is that's a kooky little kid right there.
I was like, yeah, sure. Didn't really think anything of it, but
yeah. And then
2 months later, we're sitting in the basement of the Enox guy's house making Condition Critical. So it was kind of an interesting way of getting into it.
Halfway through the vocals, I asked him, I was like, what do you think? He was just sitting there laying legs out. He was like, I like it. I'm like, all right, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a silly get together, but it kind of became something more fun. I never really thought I was going to get back into music. I was really big into drumming and all that when I was younger.
Right.
Finding a singer was very tough. The toughest part is still trying to find a bass player to this day. But
I was about to say, isn't it usually the bass player that's kind of
bass players are really tough because you got a lot of people that can play bass, but you don't have a lot of people that just want to play bass.
Right.
I feel like bass is becoming one of those lost arts, and it's hard to find somebody super passionate about that instrument.
There's people that will have to drop guitar to play bass, and it's like, to do what needs to be done. But, we want to find that bass player that wants to play bass and can fucking shred at bass.
Yeah, we want somebody that wants to play bass. I don't want somebody that's like, oh, I play guitar, but I could play bass if you really wanted me to. It's like, I want you to want to play bass. I'm not going to ask you to do it.
But yeah,
Exactly.
that is still the hardest part to find. And then ever since I got Jackson, I was like, bro, we're set. And his voice was amazing for singing and screaming. And then as the years have gone on, it's like, holy shit, like it's gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've only been listening to you guys since earlier this year. Obviously, I think I think I reached out a couple of months ago about this. It was maybe January.
Sure you reached out on drop day of Unworthy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Because I was scrolling through YouTube, and that's how I found a lot of the bands I've had on.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. And you were in a suggested, video for Unworthy with another band that I was checking out at the time. And well, the thumbnail was interesting, so I clicked on it. And my initial thought is that it was going to be kind of an Architects meets like Bring Me the Horizon meets like maybe a Bullet for My Valentine kind of thing, because of the look, right?
I could do a concept album like that. The hell?
Yeah. And there's elements of those bands in your guys' music, but you have your own identity and sound too. And then the songs going on and like, Jackson singing and, all that stuff. I'm like, I really like this guy's voice. And I really like the composition. And then, I had a friend in a band, Skies of Terror's band, and I had him play that song on his live. And it gets to the end of the song where you do that, like those gutturals or whatever. And it sounded like you do this pig squeal kind of a guttural thing. And like he does this, he goes, was that just a pig squeal? Like I think I think so.
Yeah, it was a guttural pig squeal. It's something I just started messing around with, but we decided to throw it in there anyways.
Yeah, he loved how it was just so random. And he's like, that song is like right to the point. He goes, it's got the right amount of dynamics of like the heavy and the melodic. And I remember you saying something to me about wait until you hear the other songs because they are heavy.
It's funny because it's like, we mess around with those vocals and everything, but that whole EP was just messing around. Immolate was mess around. Just the song in general. There was another song that we were doing and we were trying to figure out ideas of how to continue it. So my producer's like, I got an idea. Deleted the whole file. I'm like, the fuck? And he's like, trust me. Grab an 8 string. I'm like, okay. And then we made that. Writing Immolate was, this whole entire EP has just been nothing but
having fun,
having like our demos and everything. But it's just like, let's just see what happens when we throw this, when we throw that. And that's really how it went. Everyone seems to enjoy it.
Each one of the songs, Unworthy, Immolate, and Bloodbath, the 3 that just came out, they were all written in the studio and the vocals were tracked as we were writing them. And with Unworthy, it was what's going on in our lives today. Let's write about it. Immolate was what's going on in the world today. Let's write about it. And Bloodbath, that one we got in there and we're like, and it was when the whole world was hating on everybody and nobody was agreeing with anything anybody was saying. And
I was pissed.
If you're a liberal or you're a Republican, you immediately hate each other just because you have different beliefs. And it was just annoying. So we just wrote about how we were annoyed and how it's stupid. And we enjoyed the writing process of it.
You want to love people. You want to have fun in this world. And like, there is no time and room for hate because all that leaves is just a messy spill at the end of the day, and no one wants that. It's unnecessary stress in your life. So it's just like, just let things go. Just stop talking about it. Like, this world is so damn hateful, and people set fire, which is like that lyric is mentioned in all 3 songs. Set fire, setting fire. That's what everyone's doing nowadays. It's just like, can we like just be friends? Can we hug it out? Like,
I mean, that being said, though, it's a very hard line to walk, even when you're the most like, whether you're like a pacifist kind of nature nature, or like you're into like that Buddhism where it's like a lot of Zen and inner peace and kind of stuff like that, you will still find yourself being tempted and wanting to lash out and just do some of your own, like not so much destructive acts or but just you kind of find yourself falling into that same thing that you're talking about. And it's kind of it's a normal kind of thing to feel those things though, right? Like everybody does every day. It's just a matter of how you deal with it and how you
interpret it in your life as well.
Yeah, so and I got that across pretty clearly when I sat down and listened to the EP in full, because I on purpose I did not listen to the other 2 tracks on the EP until the EP was out, right? Because I already knew what the narrative for Unworthy was. I had an idea about it, and then I wanted to see how the other 2 songs tied into it. And I just want to say bravo, because you get the point across very clearly, and people might listen to it and say, man, these guys are really pissed off and they hate the world. Well, no, you're talking about the hate that you see.
That's basically,
yeah, good job. I say good job.
Appreciate it.
That's literally like the most accurate way that you can interpret it as.
I think that's the first person that's actually come and been like, hey, I understood what you were saying. And so, hey, we're getting our point across.
Hats off to that.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. It's gotta take my hat off to you guys too, because there's some bands that kind of want to beat around the bush instead of just being direct with it, because they're afraid that someone might be turned off to the kind of honesty that you guys put forth in the lyrics and the music. But why not just be right out there with it so people know?
And people don't have to accept it or like it, but it's from what we both have heard from other people. It's like, we just want to break from all the unnecessary hate around the world. So, that's something that we wrote about. People can agree, people can disagree, but that's what art is you're putting your art out there and your opinions and expressions.
Art is 100% opinion based.
It's nothing factual. It's nothing that you have to take to heart. It's what you feel.
Absolutely. And I wanted to note something that you mentioned when you're writing the EP and the songs about how you're just messing around and you're having fun. When that's something that is like a focal point of a process, it 100% will connect to the listener when they're listening to the music. Whereas something sounds forced, you will hear that in the music. Like, for example, if a band tries to replicate a sound they had when they were setting out because they know the fans love that sound, but then they're confused when it kind of spitballs in their face because people are saying, why does this sound so phoned in? Well, why does this sound, well, it's because people knew that you went in trying to put yourself back in a place that you're not in anymore. You could achieve a nostalgic sound by still pushing your bar forward.
And I think people should understand that about Linkin Park. I didn't really care for the new album, but I think they should just understand that as a perspective.
Yeah, that was a touchy one for me too, man. If we want to go off on a tangent for that for a brief minute, they were a big part of my life, and I assume yours as well for both of you. That death for him hit me hard. This hand right here, hit my computer dead.
Heavy.
And I had a couple bloody knuckles from when I found that. I was working a graveyard shift at the time when the news found my eyes. And I sat there after I did that in just complete disbelief, not wanting to believe it and say, this has got to be a hoax. But it was true. As we know, 7 years went on. And finally, they revealed that they're active. Finally, they put something out. And as much as I didn't want it to be a female singer, not because I don't like female singers, there's plenty of great ones. I was worried about the kind of tone that they would have in their voice, how they deliver it, how they sing. Just her vocals. She's good in her own right. She does well.
I think Emily did a really good job creating a Linkin Park album of her own.
Exactly. It's not her stamp of identity.
I'm going to be
honest. Go ahead.
I've not listened to a single new Linkin Park, and I just don't care to.
It's not bad. If you go into it not like fully expecting it to be something completely different. Yes, it is still Mike Shinoda and he still has his hand in it, but there's no Chester. It's not the dynamic duo that
I 100% understand Mason's stance on this because that was me initially. I was like, I'm not going to listen to anymore. That when the Emptiness Machine came out, I'm like, I honestly had a moment where I cried, man. It was just that much of a shock and just like, but that's not the voice I want to hear. You know, I went from I'm not going to listen to the album. I went to I'm not going to go to a show. Well, now I've listened to the album front to back. It's Linkin Park and its DNA, and I have a concert I'm going to with them that a friend, purchased a ticket, to go along with them. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do this for some closure, from that side.
There you go.
And just experience it that way, and just we'll see where I go from there. But yeah.
I bet you it'll be a great show, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're gonna be at Rockville. I'm gonna be there all 4 days. So I'm still debating if I'm like, do I want to go back to the condo and just like early drink, or I'm like, should I just see Linkin Park to see it? But I don't know. It's like you said, something where it's like it's just not Chester. Like I grew up playing the first Xbox Halo, then going into PS3, Black Ops 2, listening to nothing but Hybrid Theory. And to be honest, like I forgot what the album was called, but it's no. Crap. It's been a minute since I've listened to Linkin Park, but my all-time favorite song would be
Is it off of Meteora?
Burn It Down.
Burn It Down from Living Things.
Yeah, Living Things. That is my all-time favorite song by them. We listen to that shit every day playing Halo, and I'm like, I love this band. I want to see him live, and just never got the chance to.
Wow.
Same, man. Same. Chester died. I'm like,
when that song came out, there was a lot of controversy about that song. A lot of people. That's when a lot of people stopped becoming Linkin Park fans because the music shifted a little bit.
But there's something about that chord. I'm a big synth guy. I love synths. If you listen to HellHounds, there are synths.
Yep. I hear them.
And especially in the future stuff, holy shit! But like, I'm just literally composing synths and so many other things. And Jackson's like, this is wacky as fuck. He loves it. But when I hear those synths in the beginning of the song, I'm like, all right, my inner child is coming out. Like, let's party, let's go.
It's synth and heavy music really goes well together.
Like peanut butter and jelly. Shit.
Oh yeah, do you know who? What's her name? Mystic. She pairs synths with a lot of like metal music. You should check her out. She does a really good job.
I think I've heard the name. I might have heard a song, but I'm not remembering it.
I think she's in. It's an Australian band. I think it's Earth Caller, maybe, or Earth Crawler.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
That sounds familiar too. Yeah.
I think. But she does a lot of synth stuff over like. She's done it over like Meshuggah and stuff like that. It's really wild.
Mm.
I honestly think like with like our shit with synths and everything, it really hit when Lorna Shore was doing some synth and orchestra stuff to where I was like, for some newer future music, I would love to try and compose that up myself and just see what everyone gets to vibe with. What do you like? You love it.
Oh, I love synth work. It creates such a heavy atmosphere if you want it to.
Yeah, I mean, because you could just do your basic guitars, but there's a different atmosphere in the back that also tells another story while guitars are playing, and it's cool. I love the way that music's progressed with synths, bringing in pianos or choir orchestras and shit like that. Even bands that pull out like violins or cellos on stage just do their own thing like that.
I could agree with you more, and I love that you guys aren't putting yourself into a box and not wanting to go outside of that box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it kind of defeats the point of being a musician if you're not wanting to try other things,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, music, everybody that's creating music is doing it because they have a passion for it and they're creating what they want to create.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand there is an audience and you want to be able to create for that audience and be able to create an awesome project, but you also have to enjoy that project yourself. That is why bands constantly are changing and evolving. So it's always fun to experience things in your music.
I heard something from, I think it was Brent from Shinedown, and I hope if he sees this, I hope he doesn't take this as me throwing shade at him. But he said that the fans are the band's boss, right? And I disagreed with that just for the fact that you shouldn't put your fans' demand and expectation of you before your own artistic vision and passion, because when you do that, you're stifling your creativity and your growth, because you don't allow yourself to go out, like I said, of a box and just be a musician and a creator.
I totally agree.
It's dumbing it down, because there have been bands that will listen to their fans, but they're not happy with it. That's why you see band members saying, this is not my thing anymore, because it's like, yeah, you want to give something for the fans, but this is your band. You are the boss. You put out whatever music, people can love it, people can hate it.
Right.
That's every single business you're going to go into, whether that's in art or outside of art. There's always going to be a yes and a no. So like, you make what you want to make and just pray for the best that it comes out good and people enjoy to love it. But if not, sorry, it's not for them type thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how it is.
100%. You can't let them determine the course that it goes, you know? Let's bring up the Unworthy music video really quick, because you guys look like you had a ton of fun doing that one.
Dude, no idea. That was such a blast.
That was a blast and a headache and a half on my end.
Yeah.
That was just we set up, we played the song a half a dozen times. We just had a really good time doing different shots, just playing the song in different ways.
Yeah.
Drinking way too much Red Bull and enjoying plants from the earth.
Yeah. I mean, aesthetically, the look of the video is very pleasing and stimulating to my eyes. Like, I like the use of everything. You know, I don't know how to use any technical terms to describe exactly the look of it I got, but performance videos like that, or I think that's what you call them, have always been my favorite kind of video.
Yeah,
I don't mind like a video that's like got a narrative, like for example, like In the End, Linkin Park, or the Freaking Habit music video. I love those too, but I've always loved more just seeing the band just jamming and having fun. Because it's the band out in the forefront and just, you know, hey, here we are, here's the song.
Band.
I mean, it's fun to see them perform their music. It's like, I didn't have to go pay for those tickets, you know?
How long did that take to make the video?
Oh, like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, I think we were in there for about 3 hours. Yeah. Josh has gotten pretty good with us. He's just a wizard with a camera, man.
We did book for 3 hours and we got 3 hours. That was actually really good timing with how we wanted our shots. It also helped too that the song's like 2.5 minutes, nothing too long, but we had time. We were literally allowed to take a break, sit down, drink some water, chill out, just talk and get off the instruments for 1 second and not have to worry about a time crunch. Because I remember it was like 1 hour left and Josh was like, I just need 2 more shots from y'all and then we can break down and we're done. And we were literally out the door by the end time and it was perfect. No, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just going back to having fun. We set a setup and played our song. It was just a good time.
One thing that was pissing me off was my guitar strap. So
the guitar strap did break a lot.
Well, it was the guitar strap lock. It was a stock lock, no, it wasn't. It was a regular strap locks that you'd buy online, but it was loose in the guitar. And it kept popping out. So as I'm playing headbang, the top part of the lock on the guitar would fall straight through. So I'd have to crawl my way out of the shot. Josh goes to the main 3. And I'm running into the offices where this guy owns a studio. He's doing paperwork. And I'm like, you got a screwdriver on you, man? So I'm like screwing it in. And that happened like 3 times. I eventually stole the screwdriver and just, took it with me. Like, fuck this. I'm not going in and out. And then I learned the old trick where you just like break apart a bunch of toothpicks and just jam it in there along with the strap. thank you to my dad because he's done the shit many times before and too. And the strap lock is not going anywhere now.
Problem solved.
Your dad isn't Unworthy is the one that we had that was his demo from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, so the demo for Unworthy was a riff that my dad made 30 years ago because he was in the Atlanta scene like all throughout the like mid to late 90s, early 2000s.
Punk or hardcore or metal? Like what kind?
Just groove metal.
Uh-huh.
Just drop D groove metal. And I've seen videos, I've heard demos from like VHS tapes, and he's trying to. I have all of his VHS tapes in my room. I'm trying to convert to a media file so I can watch it. I mean, he played Old Masquerade where it's just 3 stories high and it's wobbly floors and shit. The true Atlanta Masquerade fans will understand that, but because I've never been, sadly, but I always wanted to. I know. But I just started going when I first started going to the shows, it was right when the new Masquerade opened, and it was heaven. Just one floor, only like 500 people. This is before they remodeled to like a bigger floor and 3 balcony levels. But yeah, he was showing me riffs and demos that he made on the guitar, and it was in like drop D. So I pitched it down to drop C and showed it to Michael, our producer. And I was like, I wonder what we can do to make this more HellHoundsy with harmonics, whammy pedals, and everything. And he was like, we got it. So we spent all day taking our time, and the end result came out in one day, all the instrumentals, and it was perfect. It was beautiful.
I love it when it's seamless like that, man. And also, it's really cool that you're able to take like kind of from your dad's past and just have it kind of have life in your music.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I would imagine that he felt just so proud and so honored that was done. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was a sick riff. It was a sick riff, man.
God, I forgot how they were.
I agree, man.
I remember hearing it, and I was like, what? I'm like, yo, you're not doing music anymore. Can I take this?
Please.
Please.
Every single time I hear Views from the Sun by Thornhill.
Oh, God. Can I take this? But yeah, he's been a guitarist in multiple Atlanta bands. He was like big in the scene. Him and I share like 20 guitars together. So yeah, there's a lot of value in that house.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that like a lot. That's yeah. And just talking about that riff in just the song some more. The friend that I showed it to from Skies of Terra, he mentioned how just like I think he said that's a disgusting, just gnarly, awesome riff in this song. He goes like, he's like, that's what, barely 3 minutes, roughly around 3 minutes of just like, he's like, man, just like, where are these guys gonna go? Like, say a year from now, or like, where are they gonna try next? Because I also think he said something to the effect of he wouldn't be surprised if he would see you guys going out with like bands like Lorna Shore or like Whitechapel or Bullet even or Trivium in the next like couple of years.
Yeah, Trivium would be sexy.
Yeah, shit. Honestly, I would choose Trivium out of all of them, just because of who those guys are. But
yeah, I've been listening to Trivium since Ascendancy first dropped.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's I think that would be their Master of Puppets album. As far as with
yeah,
Metallica fans they love most. That's Trivium's most beloved record right there. And just, you want to hear something funny about myself? I used to hate gutturals and screams when they were just completely constant all the time up until around 9th grade, and after I left school. I think Trivium and a band called Soilwork and In Flames were bands.
Oh my God!
They were the ones that started to win me over, to that kind of more extreme, heavier metal kind of music. Because I already listened to Linkin Park, Chester Screams and all that, but these screams are different from that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So little by little, I started to really vibe to it and really like it and love. and retract my statement of thinking that that takes no talent or technique at all to do it. Because you're always wrong when you say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I come to really appreciate it and just respect where it comes from. And thank God I did, man, because it opened up my mind to so much more of like a wide variety of heavy music when I started to find myself really liking it, you know?
For me personally, when
So-
I got into heavy music, it made me appreciate, the vocal technique of it, first of all. And then it helped me once I started learning how to do those vocal techniques, then I really started to appreciate all sorts of types of music because I started to understand the type of work that people had to go into to create these sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like metal music has given me a bigger appreciation for all music. So eat that.
For both of you, what are some musicians that you kind of took blueprints from or just kind of studied their work, so to speak, you incorporate to what you do?
So I'm a pretty early on MySpace wave metalcore fan. So like I was into like Attack back in the day when
Under Oath?
Yeah, like Under Oath, stuff like that. So like one of the big people for me was Austin Carlisle growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of looked up to him in that aspect. Obviously can't scream like him. That guy's a one in a million.
Yeah.
That guy was a one in a million. But and then I was really big into Shinedown. You mentioned Brent Smith. That guy's probably one of my favorite vocalists of all time. He just has the voice of an angel. He could sing me to sleep. But I think it was just growing up and going through the motions of music and the different types of things. Like I really enjoyed, my dad was a big Van Halen fan growing up. So I was really into Van Halen when I was like really young growing up, watching AC/DC, watching Angus run across the stage crazy with a guitar.
Yeah. Who did that?
For me, I was raised at a very early age, like pre-K, kindergarten, being picked up from school, listening to straight up Pantera, Lamb of God, Black Label Society. Yeah, so I'm like, again, the father's picking me up from pre-K, and this is like right when Sacrament came out, so he's still on the Ashes of the Awakened Sacrament run. So I just hear redneck, like just loud as hell. I'm like, I love this. So grew up listening and praising the hell out of Dimebag, Mark Moore and Willie Adler.
Mm-hmm.
And then going into middle school and especially middle school for sure and high school, Greg Tribbett of Mudvayne, which I still listen to Mudvayne every single day. That whole band is insane, and I love doing that. System of a Down. Darren was the reason I wanted to also pick up a guitar as well. And my dad had an Ibanez Iceman in his room, so that was the first ever guitar that I played. And then I found Schecter's, and I was like, I love Schecter's.
A lot of people love Schecter's.
Yes, and Mushroom Head too. With the amount of member changes that they got, they've been a band I've listened to since middle school as well. So hearing Gravy in the early Mushroom Head days was like, he is insane all over the place with the whammy squeals he'd do live, but just insane, disgusting ass riffs that he would do.
What's your opinion of this is one of my favorite guitarists, and a lot of people don't give this guy very much credit, but they should, because if they really listened, if they're a guitarist, they would probably understand why I say this. But Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit has such a creative mind with that.
Love it.
Interesting.
That dude is so outside of the box
Yes.
as far as how he uses his instrument, that how could you not appreciate what he does, even if you're not a musician?
See, and I know people that don't like Limp Bizkit but appreciate the hell out of Wes Borland, that they will listen to Limp Bizkit. Again, another band young that I listened to, but I was fortunate. I know I was fortunate enough to get free pit tickets on their tour with Xavier Wolf and Bones, and so
I went to that.
Yeah, there was such an amazing tour, amazing show. But I was like, I would look at the other band members, Fred Durst and everything, but I just could not get my eyes off of Wes Borland because of his guitar playing, and also too, kind of like on Unworthy, where I do the body paint. It's people like Wes, Mudvayne, Mushroom Head, and even Slipknot is like the art style too of the stage presence and your outfit and makeup that I loved. I was like, that's literally someone I looked up to as a kid, where I was like, just wanting to be wacky but artistic, and just how you feel is like, that's what I want to do. But his guitar playing and his tone too. When I saw the SEL tones came out with like the Westmoreland tone, I was like, fuck, I need it.
Rest in peace, bank account.
I still need to buy it too, but yeah, I love Westmoreland so fucking much, dude.
Yeah, I think I saw the same tour that you're talking about. It was last year, I think, when I saw him, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Limp Bizkit. I wanted to see him so many different times when they've come to Washington and Oregon, and finally I was able to go with my little brother, and I was the same way. Like when they all came out onto the stage, my eyes was like a magnet to metal, just right to Wes. I'm like, hey, love you, Wes. Love you, John Otto, DJ Lee, and all the other guys. But I was just eyes on Wes. Like I'm sitting there watching what he's doing on the neck and down with his strumming hand and his effects pedal and stuff. I'm just like, this guy is just so impressive and captivating.
He is
in person.
He's so calm while he does it too.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing, is he literally is that perfect that he does not need to worry about how he's playing. Because I saw his strumming technique along with what finger goes on the fretboard. Everything about his playing style, while he's calm and collective, it's just another day for him. That's literally what it is, and he did not miss a single beat to it. And that was just mind-blowing to see.
What'd you think of them opening with break stuff and closing with break stuff?
I went crowd surfing on the last break stuff.
Yeah, I tried to
break stuff is what destroyed Woodstock 99.
Yeah,
so
I tried to get up on the stage when they sang for Full Nelson. He's been bringing people up on the stage to sing that song with them. I was sitting there doing this. I turned the light on my phone. I'm like, I don't have much of a voice, but I will sing the crap out of that, just waving it. He pulls up some girl up onto the stage. She swore up and down that she knew the lyrics. And she did okay, but she did a lot of fumbling around and just kind of missing things. And I'm like, well, she's having fun, but I'm like, that should have been me. Come on.
Me.
the Atlanta concert, he pulled some guy up in a pizza costume, and he didn't miss a beat, actually. He was like, he actually got back on the floor to crowd surf with the people just to get back in the pit. And then he got back up and was just chilling with who is that the Michael Jackson impersonation?
Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman? Wait.
No.
Is it the host Riff Raff?
No, it's not Riff Raff. He played in Stand By Me. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Corey Feldman. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey Feldman was he didn't play that day, but he was just chilling with a beer in his hand on the couch, and Pizza Guy is just like, holy shit. Corey's just like, live, and I'm like, okay.
Speaking of Corey, man, like I could not stop laughing when I was watching his set. He's horrible, but it's entertaining as hell, and there's so much comedy value in what he's doing because I don't really think he's thinking that he's all that great, but he's having fun.
No comment. He didn't perform that day, so no comment. I can't.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't miss out, but at the same time, you missed out. It's something that you probably would have had a really good laugh seeing and witnessing. But to start kind of like wrapping it up and stuff, I want to cover a few more things. First of which, I want to talk about live shows for HellHounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I have not looked up. That's homework that I spaced doing of whether you guys have done some live runs already. But in general, what would a live show be like for HellHounds?
So as of now, we have not played a single live show, but we are in works for a couple coming up this year. Not going to throw any dates out because none of them are confirmed, but we are working on that. We are in talks with people of getting on bills, but right now, what it looks like for us is we do have a a live drummer and a live bass player for that will step in for us. We do not have an official lineup for the actual band, but we do have people that are willing to step in and play those live sets with us.
Cool.
Yeah. So expect that HellHound shows. I mean, literally wall of deaths, circle pits, people punching the shit out of each other. Hell, I'll get on the floor and fuck someone up while playing my riffs. So I don't
know. You might get me telling you to shut up so you can hear me. You know, like, I don't know.
That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun.
Stop talking. Get over here. Come on.
You came to my birthday party. It's about me. Come back.
Like I'm 38 years old now, right? And my moshing days, 38 seems like maybe young to kind of retire from moshing for the most part. But when I went and saw Static X on with Seven Dust on this last run of the Machine Killer tour,
oh man,
I got sucked in to the mosh pit for Seven Dust and Static X. I was so sore, dude. Like, I ended up going to the other side of this pole that was in, like, there's two poles on the floor part of general admission, and I went on the opposite side of it just to make it to where I didn't get sucked back into the pit. And I stood there for a second, like, am I honestly too old for this, or is it just a matter of me not wanting to get hurt?
Yeah, I think that's what it is now, because I go to these shows and I'll watch these people helicopter and spin wheel. My and I don't want to anymore.
I saw Fox Lake, Body Box, Cane Hill. Who was the other opener? Weeping Moon? Yeah, Weeping Moon. And I'm 22, so I got a great young healthy body. So I'm really cartwheeling and throwing elbows for these hardcore bands and shit. I can do all.
Until you hit the big 3-0, man. 30, you'll start feeling your body.
Not ready.
I got 3 years.
I got fucking. This year will be 23, so I got about 7.5 years.
Yeah, get it all out while you can.
Yeah, that's how old. Like, as soon as I turned like fucking 16, 17 is when this band started. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, at the start of the young adult life, I've been doing this band and music, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to live stuff, and hopefully, if you get on some tours, if you're able to do like kind of like wider range tours. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to maybe potentially see a show of my own with you guys on.
Awesome. I want to work my ass off to get everything, to make sure everything happens, whether it's in Atlanta regional or nationwide. Yeah. I mean, we got people, connections. We just got to play our cards right and make sure that everything works for both of us and see if these are the right moves, which they will be. But like, like we said, we've never done a live show before. This is something that's been going on for about 4 years, and we are ready. We are hungry. We just want to make sure that we do things right, play the cards, make sure we got enough music to play a set, which we now do. So
you got to be smart about it, and you got to not rush it. So I think that's the 100% right way to approach it. Mm-hmm. And I think you guys are going to kill it on your debut show. I think the crowd's going to be in for something pretty cool. And
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. I really do hope so.
I'm excited for you. Yeah,
I want to, make heads turn. We really want to make heads turn, get people crazy in the pit. So
I just want people to enjoy the tunes. Mm-hmm. Just want it to be good vibes.
People already are, man. I'm evidence of that.
Yeah, seeing all the feedback, everything has looked really,
it was actually kind of wild feedback that we got from everybody. It was really good. Mm-hmm. It was nice seeing people enjoy an art that you created.
Yeah, the validation is almost like a drug of its own.
It is. It's like, wow.
Yeah,
it's great.
But to wrap it up, I want to ask you guys. Obviously, music is part of it, but as far as the present and future for HellHounds, what's on the near horizon for you guys?
So on the near horizon, we are working on new music. Do not have a time frame of when that will be done. Hopefully by the end of this year to mid next year, you should be hearing more about it.
That's the ideal time frame.
We're working on getting on shows for this year. and then next year. But the near future definitely looks like us hunkering down and grinding really hard to put out a larger project.
Very big music release project, all that. I mean, I got some.
And I would also really like to work with some wacky artists outside of the metal industry. I think that would be really fun.
That would be sick as hell.
I agree. Yeah. I would say, why don't you guys try and hit up Clayton's record label from Cell Dweller and see if you guys could get on a collab with him somehow, because that guy's brilliant.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because if you love synth and you love like electronic kind of like stuff with heavy music, he's a person that I feel like is not the one that started it, but he's one of the names that was kind of like pioneering it and kind of making it, really integrated. He had it through the 90s too as well, but he's done a lot of good things for that kind of sounds with synth and metal mixing and stuff. So look into that.
Could run.
But and then lastly, I think this is a fun question to ask because it's unexpected. To describe HellHounds as a food or a beverage or both, what would you guys pick?
Food or beverage or both? You're gonna have to give me a minute on that one. That's a good question. That's a fun question. I like that.
That's a very fun, but it's tough because
describe us.
You could do the beverage because I don't really drink like that.
Can I phone a friend? Can I go ask my 6-year-old?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
There we are. Damn, that's pretty good.
Hey, Scarlett, if HellHounds was a food or a drink, what would we be? All right, what kind of food? What's your favorite food? Well, what's a good food to describe us? Pizza.
Well, hey.
I like good. Well, you can do anything with pizza. We've been doing a lot. We've been putting a lot of toppings on our shit.
Yeah, that's true. You can put a lot of toppings on pizza. You can also remove a lot of toppings on pizza. You can do whatever with pizza. You can put whatever you want on a pizza. So I'll take that one.
Metal people love pizza.
We do.
So,
100%.
Made a song.
Oh my god!
I love it, man.
Damn. I mean, probably a Four Loko would describe us. Crazy as shit.
Not the Four Loko. The ones that you and I remember.
Those things are just, jeez, not good memories, man.
No, but I have those memories for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we get this wrapped up, you guys want to plug where they could find your music and your socials?
So on our Instagram will be official.hellhounds. Facebook will be HellHounds. Spotify and everything is HellHounds. Make sure you capitalize if you're going on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever, YouTube, that it's both H's are capitalized right there.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh wow, look at that. 25,000 views on Unworthy on Spotify. Just hit today. So,
nice.
Look at that.
What a milestone, dude. Let's go.
Darkness fault. Yeah, so we do have a link tree in our Instagram for our YouTube, our music videos, and all other socials. Another big thing in the future as well that we're trying to sort out some stuff too is getting merch. Currently have some merch hiding in my closet.
I love hats. Just FYI, I love hats.
You like beanies?
Well, he's wearing one.
Yes.
Well, you'll be the first to know.
But I think our biggest thing is just trying to find the right people for shirts, printing, and everything. Because you definitely want to go into a show with at least a shirt designer too. Yeah. Hell, I'll fucking whatever show we do. I mean, I will be happy to do hats, beanies, and shirts, or either one headwear, but that would be cool. But yeah, I mean, just merch on the lookout. We're working our ass off to get the right designs and just making sure everything is legit 100%.
Trying to find a good company to go with because I don't want people to buy them and then the stuff fall off of the shirt or the shirt shrink. I want to get quality stuff.
Yeah, well, knowing you guys, because it's noticeable with the music, quite noticeable with the music for me, is it will be quality and it will be worth it. It won't be unworthy. It'll be worthy.
Ah,
So,
that was good.
yeah. So, yeah, I think
Gotcha.
that's yeah. You guys have a bright future. I think you're going to do very well for yourselves. I think it's been a real fun chat with you. And like I said at the start of it, I'm glad I didn't have to cancel again because that gutted me when I did it the first time. And I'm also glad that I freaking remembered the password to my laptop.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, we're here. We did it.
Yeah, we did it. But yeah, thank you so much to HellHounds, Mason and Jackson. Again, they dropped where you could find them on their socials and streaming services. Please go check that out. Let them know what you think, even if it's negative, because that's bound to be something.
Let me know, 'cause I want to see
and-
what negative reviews you got for me. I
Yeah,
wanna
if you
laugh.
watch till the end of this podcast, go drop under our most recent post a thumbs down and Floyd Rose.
Yes.
Don't remind me. Son of a bitch.
So we know that you made it.
All right.
Fucking hate them.
Well, guys, I hope you had fun. I had fun. Love talking with you. Reach out to me if you guys want any reviews done or anything like that.
Absolutely.
I do those too, just so you know. More than happy to do them. I do free promo. I don't charge anything. I never will. I mean, probably never will. Depends on who it is, I think. I don't know. I just do this because I love doing it, so I probably won't charge
Find out
ever.
when we get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll reach out again, or you could reach out to me in the future if you guys want to come back on, and I'd be more than happy to do part 2.
Would
And
love to.
yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, look for this up on the YouTube by tomorrow at the
All right,
latest.
sounds
Awesome,
good.
man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have
Enjoy your
yourself a good
day.
night.
Love you, bro. Have a good night.
You do.
Or rest of your day. It's
Rest
like
of- I don't know
10
why I
a.m.
said
for you,
nights.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
107.
All right.
Man, you have
Take
yourself a
it
good
easy.
one.
All right. Bye.